Hey guys, thanks for tuning back into the channel. Today we're going to talk about xTool Studio and how to figure out what speed and what power percentage is needed to cut certain materials. So this is just going to be a quick video to kind of show you guys how to find that speed and power that's needed for each project that you have, so it can be easy and quick and you don't have to retry making your project 15 different times. So let's just go ahead and jump into it. First off, as always, I've got just a blank xTool Studio page here. It's an untitled document. I think the easiest way to figure out what speed and power is needed is by using this materials guide up here near the top right where it says material. So right now it says unknown material. You can click that and it brings up a material selection. So you can find whatever piece of material you think you're going to use. I mean, there's even rock on here, so there's just a lot of different ones that you can choose from. A lot of these are test materials. Like for instance, if you're wanting to make a dog tag, here's going to give you some tips and tricks on this dog tag, as well as the speed and power needed whenever you hit apply. Okay, so now I've got that applied. So you can see here I've got black aluminum. So let's try to add a project here on the Elements tab. So maybe I'd like to draw the yin and yang on a dog tag. So here it gives me the estimated power and the estimated speed needing for that. But one thing I want to do is connect my engraver. So I have a D1 Pro, and you see now it's connected. If I do 60% power, 200 millimeters per second, it should give me a really good engraving based off of what other engravers have done in the past. Here's kind of a reference guide that you can look at. You just click on this one-click set, and there's different power percentages and speeds based off of millimeters per second that you can choose from. So you can see the faster that it is, and the less amount of power it is going to be really light. But then if there's high power and low speed, it's going to be very dark. So this 80 power and 100 millimeters per second, that would probably cut into a lot of different materials. So this one's just picking it right at the middle at 200 millimeters per second, 60% power. And I can change that if I need to. Notice how it changes it here on the right. So that's just one way to figure out what speed and power is needed for your material. Okay, now I've got a little bit simpler shape here to show you this next one, because it's pretty complex, but it's probably the most efficient way to do this. So you can highlight your image, come over to the applications, go to Material Test Array. Once you'll click it, you'll notice that it's very similar to what we showed just a few minutes ago with the reference guide. I'm going to exit that and click done, and we can change the max speed and the max power for this. But notice here it's going to engrave on your piece of material. It's going to do every single one of these, including the words and the numbers here on the bottom. So how it's going to do it is like before. If it's got a high power and a low speed, it's going to be very dark. Or if it's got a high speed and a low power, it's going to be very light. So this test grid is going to be on your piece of material, which is really neat because you can actually look and see, hey, this is the exact speed and power that I need for my engraving. That way you don't have to do it 15 different times. You can just do it this one time, mess up your piece of material, and use it as a practice piece material, and then go on and make sure that all the rest of them are correct based off of that. Another way you can find the speed and power that's needed for your engraving is this website called Atom. I don't know if it's owned by xTool Studio or if they just partner together, but it's a great resource to use. So I can scroll over and find whatever laser engraver that I have, and then I can also look at some recommended materials. Like let's say I want to use a round cork coaster. I can click on it and then come over and find the engraver that I have. Like I have an xTool D1 Pro. I've got it 10 watt, and you can change your processing mode, change your processing type, what you're trying to do, and you can see here different speeds and different powers. Like before, you got to pick the speed and power that looks best. So I'm thinking 35% power, 50 millimeters per second, somewhere in there. That's what I think will turn out as the best engraving. But you just really have to play around with it and see what's best for you. And this may not be 100% accurate. You might have to make it faster or higher power, but it's just a good starting jump off point. And lastly, the old-fashioned way is just to guess and check, or plug and chug as I like to say. Just try different speeds and different powers on different pieces of material, see what's best. Be sure to write them on those scratch pieces of material to be sure that you can remember it for the future. Once you have that best speed and power available, then that's what you're going to use for your initial engravings. So I hope this video found you 4 different ways: the materials test guide, the materials test array here under the applications tool, this website called Atom, and I'll have the link down in the description, and then lastly, just guessing and checking. Those are really the only 4 ways I can think of to make sure that you have the correct speed and power needed for your engraving. But if you can do one of those 4 things, you should turn out with a perfect engraving just about every time. So thanks for watching. I hope you had a great day. If you have any more comments or questions, just leave them down in the comment section below. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel to see some other great content here in the future. I hope everybody has a great day and happy engraving.